This report is sponsored by American Express, founder of Small Business Saturday. Today's forecast calls for lots of small shopping because today is Small Business Saturday, a day founded by American Express to support the small business.
All right, well, I'm calling her now. 15 seconds. No, not 15 seconds.
Want some company while you're cooking dinner? Just ask.
Hey, Alexa, play News Talk 99.5 WRNO on iHeartRadio.
Okay, no problem, but I refuse to...
Yeah, I see it.
The Mortgage Minute with Dwayne Stein.
So please understand, and whether it's me or whoever it is, and you're considering hiring somebody to make your largest financial investment or purchase, which is your home, make sure that when you're hiring them, they're looking at all your options. So many of these banks, when folks come to me, they go, well, the bank told me they couldn't help me out. I was a 633 or I was a 649. And then we look at the opportunity to fix their credit, and it's for chump change. It's for sofa money that we're able to raise their points 5, 10, 15 points, which was a tremendous difference. It was the difference of this client being able to get a certain type of loan versus a lot lower interest rate.
Mortgage Gumbo with Dwayne Stein. Saturday at 1 on News Talk 99.5 WRNO.
And you can also reach me at 504-207-7600 or at mortgagegumbo.com.
Live from the Gregory Ricks and Associates Wealth Management Studios, this is News Talk 99.5 WRNO.
What's cooking, Gumbo Nation? You're listening to Mortgage Gumbo with Dwayne Stein on iHeartRadio. And I'm your host, Dwayne Stein, the Gulf South Mortgage Authority. And if you want to be on the show today, give us a call, 504-260-0995. You can also follow us on Facebook.com/MortgageGumbo or /Dwayne Stein. The iHeartRadio app. Gregory Ricks is winning at Life app. Look, you can get the Rue newsletter. Look for the chef hat in the sky. I mean, just look around. For more than 5 years, we've been sharing financial greatness, and we're going to be doing that again for you today. I don't know about you, but I am still full from Thanksgiving. I mean, my question to listeners is this. How can most of us work a job where we eat lunch, right? We have a lunch, but then we go back to work. Why on Thanksgiving do we eat a lunch and then almost fall asleep instantly watching some football? And I know they say turkey's got that tryptophan or whatever that's called, I don't know, the date rape stuff. If that stuff's in there, then, that's serious. But, it's instantly. It's crazy on how quickly on a Thanksgiving that everybody's just, let's everybody gather around. Let's have a great time. Let's catch up and tell the same stories we've been telling for 20-something years. And this is awesome. And, let's hold hands and pray. And everything's great. And we talk about everything we are to be thankful for. And then 15 minutes after you're done eating, everybody's snoring. Everybody's sitting there, belts unbuckled, just absolutely worn out. So I don't know if that's how it is at your house. It is how it is with mine, and everybody just kind of. Now, we've got older folks, so I know with the kids it's a little bit different, but, most everybody's gone. We've got one person left in our little family that's, still waiting for Santa and all that stuff. So, but for everybody else, man, alive, it's like, hey, get in front of the TV. Everybody fights for the TV spot, and then we try and fall asleep. You try to get the most comfortable spot. But I hope everybody had an amazing Thanksgiving. And then yesterday, Black Friday. What about Black Friday? Is that something? Now they open up on Thursdays, right? And I have to pass two Best Buys when I'm driving to my family's house for Thanksgiving. And in the years past, they got the barricades out there, and there's been people just wrapped around this building, the Best Buy buildings. But this week, there was barely anybody. So I was reading some articles yesterday, and they were talking about how spending is at an all-time high with retailers, well, people doing retail and shopping, but because of the online. So has the online shopping sort of taken away the family dynamic of Black Friday? Because I know a lot of people that used to Black Friday, they were leaving at midnight, right, and go and do their shopping and go and wait in line, and it was a big family event, and it seemed to be fun. Not for me. I would just give them my money and say, here's what I need. But it seems like it's something that's pretty cool there, right? So when we're looking at that, has the online stuff taking away from just the madness of Black Friday? Are you happy about that? Are you okay with that? Or has it kind of messed up a little bit of your dynamic? Because, you know, we're going to turn around in 2 days, we're going to have Cyber Monday, right? So, I mean, it's going to be more online stuff. So, I don't know. To me, it's just a little bit weird when we're looking at this on how everything is now. And I think the online stuff has already taken away from just the experience. Because I did it online. You know, a week before, they get your Black Friday doorbusters, get those out now, right? Get that stuff out now. You know, shop now for your doorbuster deals a week in advance. And you know what? I did. Great week this week coming up as we have our Toys for Tots. Our 5th annual Toys for Tots drive will be on Friday. If we have that, that's going to be something that I think I'm looking forward to. It's going to be Friday night. It's a client appreciation party, so chances are if you've worked with us in the recent future, you're invited to this awesome exclusive event that we'll be having at Old Rail, and really looking forward to that. I want to thank Tito's, Telemar Dew, and then also we've got Bayou Rum and some wine as well from, I believe it's Cleo's is being donated. So really looking forward to that. And but this past week, we did our big check, and our Help a Hound Foundation, we raised a little bit under $3,000, but one thing I've learned from Greg Ricks is we just made sure I rounded it up to $3,000 for the folks over there. And I was over there on Wednesday. And what's amazing about the North Shore Humane Society, and I'm sure plenty of these other places, is you now can foster a pet for like a weekend or a week. You can go foster a pet and get the opportunity to kind of try it before you buy it type of deal. And I am amazed at how many people were out there on a Wednesday for Barksgiving. I mean, tons of family members out there. And I can tell you, since I've gotten really a lot more associated with these folks over the last 6 months, the work and the effort that goes in is just absolutely amazing. So I was super excited to be able to get over there, present the big check. Hey, if you go visit mortgagegumbo.com, you'll see that stuff on there. You'll be able to see some pictures, some videos, and they've got a bunch of different stuff going on through the holiday season. So make sure you definitely check that out. And you'll also find on mortgagegumbo.com, you'll be able to find our drop-off sites. We've got one in St. Bernard, one in Metairie, one in Mandeville, and I just want to thank the folks. Hey, somebody was nice enough to drop off about 10 gifts on Wednesday. When we got to the office, we had 10 gifts already there. People have dropped them off over in Mandeville, also in St. Bernard. So, again, we're going to be collecting through the end of business on Thursday. So, hey, if you want to help put a smile on somebody's face this holiday season, just go to mortgagegumbo.com. Check out the drop-off sites. Listen, just one unwrapped toy. It could be from anywhere. We just appreciate it. It's an opportunity for us. This is our 5th year. We've teamed up with the Marine Toys for Tots. So I'm very excited about that. And really just looking forward to the opportunity to present these gifts to these kids during this holiday season really, really warms my heart. On today's show, we're going to discuss, last week we were talking about how much the seller can pay for closing costs. And let me tell you something. It was absolutely amazing on how many phone calls I got this week on people who now, they went and I guess they tested their agent, and their agent was not aware of some of this stuff. And they called me, and I'm now putting them in touch with some of my agents that I work with. And you know what? Good for these folks. My job is not to undercut an agent. I think agents are amazing. You know what? I'm sorry. I think realtors are amazing. And I think people that do the job full-time as realtors are absolutely awesome. And plenty of them are very, very good at what they do. Unfortunately, just like some of those banks and those lenders, some realtors, unfortunately, we got to put them in that Smuckatelli column sometimes. And if you're working with an agent, ask them, what is the max closing cost that I could get on this type of loan? Ask them. So on today's show, what we're going to share with you, because there is a spurt of home buying going on right now, the amount of contracts that are being written and, with my team over here. So today what we're going to discuss is down payment options. How much of a down payment do you need to buy a house? And we're going to go through product by product so you understand in full what the down payments are needed by each loan product type. Okay, so we're going to discuss that today because I know plenty of folks listening to the show think, you got to have 20%. That's sort of it's not that it's the wrong way of thinking, but that's sort of the old school way of thinking. Okay? It's like the story that I told when my son said his foot was hurting for 3 days, and I told him to suck it up. And then I finally went to the emergency room and found out he had a broken foot. And I told the nurse, I said, well, I guess I'm just old school. She's like, son, that school closed 15 years ago. Well, same thing with down payments. Having to have 20% is not an end-all, be-all. So I want to make sure that people are aware of that. So we are going to cover that on today's show. Okay? Plus, we'll get to Rate Watch. Plus, we'll get to Did You Know? But, man, this year I've had the opportunity also just to share, and plenty of y'all know, listen, I'm starting to get people to call me to hire me for events. Yes, you can hire me to do an event or a public speaking for you. If you want me to host an event for you, I've been an auctioneer for several events now. So if there's something you want me to do, look, go to mortgagegumbo.com, find out how to get to me. But one of the things I've been able to do this year is announce the Lakeshore Titans game over on North Shore. And, you say blessed, but you know what I mean. Had the good fortune of being able to announce the Lakeshore Titans. This team's number one in the state. And last night they won 57-0 in the quarterfinals. They'll now go on to play Warren Easton this week at home for a shot at the Superdome. So, kudos to Coach Jones and everybody over there, Christian Westcott, Ty Guggenheim, and Maximus Lowry, all these studs, Walback, all these studs that they have just put together a fantastic season, and it's been absolute blast being able to be part of that. So, hey, when we come back on the other side of the break, we're going to get into some rate watch. We're going to get into some Did You Know, because I think you'll be kind of amazed on some things that are going on. And like I said, our main topic today that we're going to discuss, you don't want to miss it. So get your pens out, get your recorder out. It's down payment options on every type of loan product. So that and more. You're listening to Mortgage Gumbo with Dwayne Stein, live today on iHeartRadio, 504-207-7600, 504-260-0995. What's up, Facebook? What's up, Tim? Good morning. Hey, what's up, Christine? I agree with you. Cliff, I agree with you there. Brick and mortar is done, man. It's done. Sad. Jeff James, the man. St. Anne Wine and Whiskey. Premier place to head over on the North Shore. You want to just go chill, folks, check out St. Anne's Wine and Whiskey Bar. It's amazing. Tell them Mortgage Gumbo sent you. Hey, what's up,
Hey.
Darren? GG. Hey, what's up?
Hey, what kind of music you want today?
You know what, brother? Whatever you want, man. What you feeling?
All right, stacks of wax, amounts of sound, all designed to get you down, putting some Motown in your town.
Yeah, you're right, brother. Let's do it. What up, B. Cook? You shot any birds, man? I'm not getting good reports from down there, Brian. I'm not getting good reports on the ducks, man. Hey, thumbs up if y'all can hear me chatting on Facebook. Just let me know you're out there. Holla at your boy. Jerry Burkhardt, back in the day, the man. Hey, you need a DJ, call Jerry Burkhardt. Solid, goes back in the day. Also, my boy Cliff Mellerine, another DJ. Plays a little bit of that new stuff, which is awesome. Get the beat going. But, Jerry, love the back in the day stuff, my man. Love it. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. That's the goal, my man. That's the goal, brother. Man, I hope you event. Congratulations on the 1 year, man. I didn't get out of Lakeshore till late last night. Everybody kind of partying it up, man. Yeah, Jam, we'll work on it.
1 minute.
Appreciate it. Thank you, though, for the feedback. I do. Some of these other folks may not, my man.
$30.
Never gets old. A little Egyptian lover coming to you. iHeart Rock and Roll Studio. Welcome back. Mortgage Gumbo with Dwayne Stein. Right here on iHeart Radio. If you want to join the show, 504-260-0995. Hey, if you want to reach me doing my day job, yes, you get to talk to me personally. 504-207-7600. Prepayment activity at the highest level in 6+ years, says Black Knight. Listen to this. And the reason why is it is absolutely, you have to take advantage right now with the lower interest rates. But refinances are up 134% year over year. That is why we're seeing prepayments up. See, we're used to in the old days hearing about prepayment penalties. There's a couple smuckatellis out there that have that, but prepayment penalties for the most part are all done. Okay? But when you're looking at prepayments, when they say prepayments, that means paying off a loan before it matures or before it comes due. Okay? So that's what you need to understand. So when you're looking at that, that's where up 134%. That is amazing. So, of course, they're saying, you know, expect some of these people that write these articles, just nobody knows how to be positive, and they just want to be gloom and doom. They're like, but you can expect a tremendous downfall in the coming months. Listen, of course there's going to be a downfall. If rates stay around where they're at, things are going to be fine. But people came out the gate in droves. They were like a thoroughbred coming out of the gate. Well, if you raise rates, things are going to slow down. But a lot of people jumped on the opportunity when they saw the rates decrease back in May this year, and they've jumped on that. So it's only natural you're going to have a little bit of a decrease in the prepayments going forward. But that's what amazes me about some of these articles, okay? Meanwhile, the national delinquency rate fell to 3.39. That's in October. That's awesome. A 6.92% decline from last year and down 3.82 from September. And within 0.03% of the record low set in May. There was 1.786 million homes 30 days past due, but not in foreclosure. 68,000 fewer than in September and down 98,000 year over year. First-time homeowners, you're the culprit for any delinquencies, okay? So you just got to be careful. It's not a bad thing, but about 1% of loans originated in the first quarter of 2019 were delinquent 6 months after origination. Okay? Now, that's 1/3 of what the delinquency was in 2000 or 2005. However, that's a trend that we want to keep our eyes on. That's a trend that if all of a sudden you want to see things tighten up, let first-time home buyers start going delinquent on some things. Then you're going to see some tightening. Because right now, that's who's flooding the market is a lot of first-time home buyers. But the good news is prepayment penalties are up. Take advantage of it. If you're not sure, in less than 10 minutes, we can have a conversation and review what your different options are and let you know. And we can let you know. Because one thing that we want to make sure that we're not here is order takers. Okay? And you know this, and I talk to listeners every single day, several of you every day. And trust your gut is what I want to have you understand. Make sure that you are trusting your instincts when it comes to, does this feel right? 74-year-old plumber, still working, plumber, and receiving some SSI. Okay? So he has to work. Now, the good news is he's got a 54-year-old wife, my boy. So his wife is a waitress who gets paid cash, always has. So we already know the challenges there when it comes to a loan, right? He banks with a company that rhymes with Mace. So y'all could figure that out. Affectionately on a show known as what? Schmuckatelli. So he gets a call from his bank saying, I can lower your rate. Well, who out there wouldn't be interested in hearing about my rate getting lowered? There's not a person out there that wouldn't listen to that. Okay? But what the bank did for this 74-year-old plumber and his 54-year-old cash-only wife, okay, she makes tips. That's the majority of her money. They didn't one time ask what this gentleman's needs were. They didn't one time ask, what do you want to get accomplished? See, they're a telemarketer. So they're in it for them, not for you. Not the homeowner. So they didn't take the time to ask, what are you looking to do? How can we help you? What are your needs? No, what they did is said, we can lower your rate, put you on a 15-year term, and give you a lower rate. How does that sound? Well, he hung up the phone and didn't feel easy. This went down on, I think, Tuesday, he told me. So he's sitting at Thanksgiving, and thanks to everybody out there that listens to the show and says, hey, if you got questions, call this guy. That's what I'm here for. My job is education and options. My job is to bring you as much knowledge as we can. So he's sitting at Thanksgiving, says, hey, I got a call. They saying they can lower my rate, but it's going to put me on a 15-year term. He's 74-year-old plumber who's having to work. He's tired of working. He's exhausted. With his wife, who's a waitress, who's 54, by the way. Again, I'll keep repeating that because My boy, not only is a plumber, he must have some kind of game. He should have went into sales. So he was uneasy about it, so he starts talking to family, and they say, listen, call the mortgage gumbo guy and talk to him. So I got a chance to call him yesterday, and I'm speaking to him. And he says, I'm working with this company, blah, 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 and they're telling me they want to lower my rate. And I said, okay, great. How'd you hear about me? Friend of a friend, blah, blah, blah. So I asked him immediately, what are your goals? What do you want to have accomplished here, Mr. Willie? And he said, my concern is this. I'm 20 years older than my wife. I'm tired of working. I would love to slow down so we can spend a little bit more time together. I would love that. But if something happens to me, I know she can't afford this mortgage on her own. So we started simply chatting. And I asked him. He goes, things are tight. I'm not going to lie to you. So we're going to meet on Monday, and we're going to look at a reverse mortgage for them. Listen, she's 54. I've already run the numbers. They've got enough equity to pay off the house, which is going to allow him, when they don't have a $1,400 house note, that's going to free up a lot of extra money for him. But we're also going to look at some other options for him as well. We're going to look at what some other things are. But my point of telling you this is whether you are buying a house or refinancing, just trust your gut. Do like I told you that these people who called me this week, and I referred them over to some of my agents because they simply asked them. It was two people. You know, and sometimes when I come up with these topics, the way I come up with them is based on what I'm seeing in the market, based on the calls I get that week. So trust your gut. I'm transparent. I'm on here. Agents listen. Other lenders listen. That's fine. I don't have a problem with that. Because the one thing I believe is everybody deserves the opportunity to be a homeowner. But more importantly, it's your most valuable asset. And people deserve the opportunity to know things and have it brought to them the right way. Because no matter what, it's your decision, listeners. It's your decision, ladies and gentlemen. It's your decision, sons, brothers, uncles, aunts, grandma, grandpas, sisters. It's your decision, not the lending institution. My job is to present you with options. Ultimately, it's you who says yes or no. And that's why 2 days after Thanksgiving, I'm here live, because I want to make sure that you're aware of what these options are for yourself. So the good news is now for this gentleman, it looks like we may be able to do a reverse mortgage for him. We'll have the wife sign as a non-borrowing spouse, but you know what? They're not looking for cash. They're looking to make relief for this guy because he knows chances are 20 years older, he's probably going to check out before she does, and he wants a roof over her head. But the Smuckatelli never bothered. They just think a number on a piece of paper is what's important, which is why our other topic today is going to be about down payments, because it's not always about that number on a piece of paper. It's about finding out what your goals are and what your finances are. You're listening to Mortgage Gumbo with Dwayne Stein on iHeartRadio, 504-260-0995. Hey, we can do some rate watch, and we'll get into the down payment options when we come back on the other side of the break. Thank you. What up, Melissa? Hey, you got the rate watch stuff pulled? You know,
I do.
Cool.
Yep.
Cool.
2 minutes.
All right, my man. Yes, absolutely. Yes, Mark. Call me Monday. Be more than happy to help you out. Yes, we do VA loans. Yes, we are in Mississippi. What up, Milan? How are you? Good morning.
All right, 10 seconds.
All right, brother. Oh, yeah. You're listening to Mortgage Gumbo with Dwayne Stein right here on iHeartRadio, 504-260-0995. If you got any questions, questions about purchasing, refinancing, reverse mortgages, relationships, you name it, I'll answer it. I'm fully transparent. Hey, just a reminder, go to mortgagegumbo.com and check out the drop-off sites for our Toys for Tots fundraiser. We got one in St. Bernard, Metairie, and in Mandeville. Hey, put a smile on our needy kids' face this year as we partnered up with the Marine Toys for Tots Foundation. Super excited about that. Let's get into our weekly segment we like to call Rate Watch. Rate Watch is brought to you by Tito's Handmade Vodka. It's America's first handcrafted vodka. Folks, rates have been the same now since about the third week of September. So we're going on 60-plus days of the rates all being, somewhere within 15 basis points of each other. I think that's why you're seeing the flooding of home buying coming in right now. 30-year fixed rates at 3.76, 15 years at 3.41, FHA at 3.38, jumbo at 3.85, and then also the 5-1 ARM at 3.44. The adjustable rate, ladies and gentlemen, is higher than a 15-year mortgage. So the fact that you would even consider that, I just don't understand why. Speaking of, they announced that the conventional rate for jumbo loans is going up to $510,000. That's going up from $484,000 this year to $510,000. That is something that has gone up over $100,000 in the last year and a half with the adjustments that they've made. So that gives you an idea when you start talking about affordability. That's not necessarily in our market, but around the rest of the country, that is crazy when you start thinking about that. So, hey, new jumbo loan amount is going to be $510,000. That's a big, big number there. Couple did you knows for this week. A child born in 2019 that begins kindergarten in the fall of 2024 would attend colleges. A child born in 2019 that begins kindergarten in the fall of 2024 is going to attend college between 2037 and 2041. Okay? That's if you're doing 4 years. I'm offended by that, and I have the right to be offended. Everybody else is offended by stuff. What if you're like me and took 5 years? Why don't they say between 2037 and 2042? Anyway, if that child attends an average public state 4-year college and the annual price increases for public colleges that have occurred over the last 30 years, which is plus 5.3% per year, the aggregate 4-year cost of the child's education, including tuition fees, room and board, would be $238,000 or $59,000 per year. This is a big deal. This is a big deal. This is why when the federal government took over student loans years ago, I knew this was going to be a bad thing and was thankful that mine are done. And I know in Louisiana we have TOPS. I know Mississippi has some stuff like that, but it doesn't cover $59,000 per year. That is a scary number. But here's what is crazy to me. And when I came home my first semester with a not-so-high GPA, my dad was nice enough to have a Marine recruiter sitting in my, and maybe this is how things have just changed. He was nice enough to have a Marine recruiter sitting in my kitchen. But listen to this number. And people complain about student loans, but I mean, are we coddling kids too much? Just 2 out of every 5 students, 41%, that began college in the fall of 2015 completed their college studies and received at least a bachelor's degree within the first years of enrolling. So you're taking on all this debt. But, I mean, what are you really going to – listen, I had more fun in college than anybody. But you got to remember what you're there for, because the debt's not going to go away. They're not going to pass a bill where student loan debt goes away. It's too much money for the student loans. It's for the federal government. It's not going to happen. So keep your eyes on that. So that's a trend there that's a little bit bothersome. Hey, let's get into this week's topic, and what we want to talk about is down payment options. So get your pen and paper out, get your recorder. If you're driving out, about to go do some shopping, have somebody in the passenger seat writing down some notes. And what we're going to start with, as we discuss down payments, I know plenty of you, as I said earlier on the show, think that 20% is the end-all, be-all. But it's not. It is not. And I know most people say, well, I want to avoid PMI. And if you've been listening to the show, I've had top PMI, top mortgage insurance company reps online who have talked about on the show the benefits of private mortgage insurance. Now, as a lender, I'm probably one of the only ones out there who give you the option to pay off your mortgage insurance. That's why the Smuckatellis are telling you need 20% down. And we'll talk about PMI in an upcoming show, because I think it's time we do revisit that, because that's a conversation that's had almost on a daily basis as well. But when it comes to purchasing a home, we have chatted about it on this show for years. We understand that cash is king. So the first thing before you going into buying a house is this. You need to find out what your budget is. And I'm not going to preach about pre-approved versus pre-qualified. You know the benefits of that. Close the loan on Wednesday before Thanksgiving in 10 business days because they were pre-approved. But what is your goals? That's what I need you to ask yourself. And what I mean by goals is this your forever home? Because if it is your forever home, and maybe you're not a first-time home buyer and it's your forever home, and you sold another house, then maybe that 20% is not a bad idea. But we want to use up all that wedding money, all that money that when you worked at Wendy's back in the day and you were saving up all that money, making $3.35 an hour. Wait, sorry, that's me. But all that money that you've saved, do we want to exhaust all that into a house and then be house poor? I know the answer to that's no. So let's go through this. Government loans, which is VA, RD, or USDA, and FHA. So let's run through these. VA, best loan out there. Down payment is 0. You have the option to do 0. So that is a win when it comes to VA, and you deserve it. You risk your life for me, you know what? You don't have to put anything down. RD, or rural development. RD and rural development is no money down. But I just got something on Facebook, and it leads me. I want to make sure that I got a question. Number one, I get asked all the time, hey, do you do these type of loan? There's not a loan out there, folks, that I can't do. So if you're wondering, and I can do loans in all the states. So if you want to know, hey, can he help me out? Yes, we can. So I just wanted to get that out the way because I got, hey, can you do VA in Mississippi during a break through Facebook? Yes. Rural development is no money down. But keep in mind, rural development is going to have some income restrictions. It will have some income restrictions. So let's get into FHA. FHA insures the loan. Your minimum down payment on an FHA loan is 3.5%. Be careful when you're talking to some of these folks with Rocket Mortgage and all these other people, Sprocket and all this stuff. Because they will have you put down, I've seen people come to me with a quote that they put down 20% and they're putting them in an FHA loan. But FHA, the minimum down payment is 3.5%. 3.5%. Whether you're a first-time home buyer, it's your fourth home, it does not matter. It's 3.5%. Now, depending on your credit score, you can get a gift when it comes for your down payment with the FHA. Okay, so you can utilize that and take advantage of that. If your credit score is over a 640, you can get a gift from a family member, maybe a spouse. Maybe you keep your funds separate. Working with a client right now. Hey, they've been divorced. They keep everything separate. So he's buying the house because wife doesn't work, but she's giving a gift for her part of the house so she could be on title. And to me, there's absolutely no, I encourage things like that. That is fine. So to repeat, when it comes to government, VA and RD, the first thing I'm going to ask you is, are you a veteran? Next thing I'm going to ask is, hey, where are you looking to live? And RD does not mean you're going to walk out your door and there's going to be cows and chickens and stuff like that. There's a lot of, the West Bank has a ton of RD. Pretty much all of the North Shore's rural development, the Hammond area, Mandeville, Slidell, tons, St. Bernard. And like I said, parts of Jefferson Parish as well. Okay? And then there's also down payment assist programs also, which that's a whole nother topic. So I wanted to knock those out of the way because when I come back, I want to discuss conventional loans. And I want to get into, this is where when I say, what are your goals? Because conventional loans is where we start having the options where we can sort of tweak how much your down payment is if you want to buy out mortgage insurance and some different options like that. You're listening to Mortgage Gumbo with Dwayne Stein on iHeartRadio. We've got one segment left, 504-260-0995. What's up, Facebook? What's up, Brandy? What's up, Mike? Thanks for stopping by. Debian, how you doing? What up, David Tracy? What's up, Nick? How you doing? Hey, make sure DeCorbia, give me a little 2-minute warning, my brother.
Oh, at the end of the show?
Yeah.
Yeah, no problem.
Start wrapping it up, I mean. Hey, yes. What up, Skip?
$30 seconds.
All right, brother. We're back. You're listening to Mortgage Gumbo with Dwayne Stein on iHeartRadio, 504-260-0995. Hey, listen, if you don't want to talk to me on air, I get it. A lot of people are too shy to do that. Call me doing my day job, 504-207-7600. You can also visit mortgagegumbo.com. Hey, I've always got somebody on standby willing to take your questions and get those answered for you immediately. Just a reminder, Toys for Tots, visit mortgagegumbo.com, and then you can check out what some of those drop-off sites are. So we're talking about down payments because you're in a home buying mood. You're ready to purchase a home. So as we mentioned, VA, RD, zero. Doesn't cost you anything to buy a home. You get to get in a home with, well, it doesn't cost you anything on a down payment. You still got closing costs. FHA is 3.5% down. So now let's get into conventional loans, okay? And I talk about this all the time because I hear so many of these smuckatellis say, call us about a first-time home buyer program. Ladies and gentlemen, there is not a first-time home buyer program. There is an advantage that first-time home buyers can take, and it's what I'm about to talk about to you right now, okay? And if you haven't purchased a solo home within the last 3 years, even if you've done it 10 different times, you just like a regular first-time home buyer, you get to take advantage of a conventional loan where you only have to put 3% down. That's right. First-time home buyers, you get to put, if we go conventional, only 3% down is the minimum. So that's why I ask you, what are your goals? We understand you want the cheapest interest rate, and that's why you come to me, because I've got 25-plus investors that I'm going to guarantee you're going to get the cheapest rate that you qualify for. And what I mean by that is your neighbor who lives next door is going to tell you that they got 2.9%. And then you're going to call me, and I'm going to say you got 4.125. And then you're going to go, well, why? And then I'm going to go, number one, I'm not sure if your neighbor's telling the truth or not, but also, hey, you've got a couple nicks on your credit. That's why it's important. That's why we talk about, when you're monitoring your credit. But that's why we also don't leave you in the dust. If you're not sure and you need help on getting your credit up, we can help you with that during the home buying process. Okay? But first-time home buyers, 3% is the minimum down payment for you. Okay? If you're not a first-time home buyer on a conventional loan, the minimum down payment is 5%. Okay? Then you can go from there. Now, any of these loans we're talking about, you can get gifts on. Okay? You can get gifts on. Pending credit scores. On a conventional loan, if you're buying a second home, and if you want to know what the difference between a second home and a primary residence is, it's 50 miles. As the crow flies. So draw a straight line, and it's got to be 50 miles. So if you're buying a home, say you live in Mandeville, and you're out looking at something over in, the Mississippi area, you want to get a camp. If it's over 50 miles away, you don't have to put up 20%. It's a second home. Put down 10%. Save you money for maybe some of those other things. Or you can also, when your credit score is good enough, and this is why I'm going to bring up, we got to talk about PMI, because then all this will come into play. Maybe you put down 10% and you buy out your mortgage insurance, and I save people tens of thousands of dollars every week because I'm in this for you. I'm in this to make sure that you're happy with your loan. I'm in this to make sure that you have the opportunity to not be house poor because cash is king. Now, when it comes to investment properties through conventional, it's a minimum of 20%. Okay? You're going to have a minimum of 20% down when it comes to investment properties. The good news is on these programs, you can get a gift. If you're in a situation where you have a family member, a spouse, or something like that who can give you a gift, you can take advantage of that. But I want to make sure, again, conventional, minimum amount is 3% if you're a first-time home buyer. Otherwise, it's 5%. All the way up to 20, you could put down. I had somebody this week, made $200,000 on their home. They're moving into a much bigger house. They put down the $200,000 into this house. They're no cheaper in this bigger house than what it was on their previous home. But most of us aren't going to be in that situation. That's why I want to know when we sit down and chat, my loan process is going to be a little bit longer than the people that say swipe right on this app and in 8 minutes we'll have you pre-approved. See, every time I see that commercial, it lets me know that they've already predetermined who you are. They already have an idea of who you are, and they're going to lump you in with every other Tom, Dick, and Harry. And to me, I don't agree with that. I want to know what your personal situation is. Hey, are you moving next to mom because maybe mom's ill? Or are you moving next to mom because you need a babysitter? I want to know what your goals are because then we're going to put together a plan that makes sense for you, not for me. And there's another type of, when we start talking about down payments, and it's called a gift of equity. I've done more gifts of equity this year than I've ever done in my career, probably in total. And what a gift of equity is if you are buying from a family member, that family member can not only give you the gift of equity on your down payment, but can also pay closing costs. So let me rehash going back on this, because last week you heard us talk about seller paid. And I want to make sure I bring something up because it came up this week. Because an agent told the buyer, oh, yes, the seller can pay your closing, can pay your part of your down payment if there's additional funds. No, they can't. No, they cannot. You have to pay your down payment. So if you're buying a $100,000 house and you can get 6% on an FHA loan, that's $6,000. You have to put up the $3,500 to 3.5% regardless. But with a gift of equity, that program is different because that is coming from a family member. So that family member can give you the equity and they can give you the closing cost. So if you're thinking about buying a home from a family member, or you're listening to this and thinking about how do I get little Johnny out of my basement? Well, we don't have basements, but out of my garage, my man cave. I've got this house over here. Hey, let's look at seeing about doing a gift of equity. It is one of the nicest things you can do and it's so easy. But so many lenders don't tell people how to take advantage of it.
2 minutes.
And the client's stuck either getting some kind of loan that they didn't have to get, when the seller could have easily, the seller knows what their bottom line is, and most people, when they're doing a gift of equity, are giving the family member one heck of a deal. So we want to take advantage of that. But everything we talking about, folks, down payments. Last week, seller paid closing costs. Next week, hey, we'll talk about PMI. We'll talk about private mortgage insurance. These things can all be found by just visiting mortgagegumbo.com or sign up for the Rude newsletter on there as well. We feature this stuff. Every show that we've ever done is on there. And you can also follow us on our podcast on Spotify and also iTunes. Knowledge is power, and that's why for more than 5 years, this has been your home show. I want to make sure that you're aware during this home buying time, during this holiday season, you know exactly what opportunities you've got. Hey, go Tigers. Saints already did what they had to do. Go Tigers. Wrap this thing up. Again, congratulations to the Lakeshore Titans. Continue to move into the semifinals and any other local teams that are out there. And visit mortgagegumbo.com to check out the drop-off sites for Toys for Tots. It'll make you feel good. Go to Dollar General. 2 for $5. Drop it off.
30.
It is a good time. It'll make you feel good and warm your heart to put a smile on somebody else's face. Till next week, Gumbo Nation. Keep stirring the pot.
Now every time I go for the mailbox, I gotta hold myself down.
All right, brother.
All right. Yes, sir. All right, man.
Thank you,
Have
boy.
a great
Have a good
weekend.
one, baby.
You
We'll
too,
catch
bud.
up. All right, baby. Bye.